Howdy, Tad Hargrave from Marketing for Hippies. Today's video is a puttering session case study, and I'm enjoying doing these. I enjoy doing the puttering sessions a lot, and good stories come from them that can maybe help take some of this abstract theory and have it land. So this fellow, I believe he's from Germany, and he had a niche of what he called exitpreneurs, which I think is a great idea. People who are exiting their business. They're getting ready to retire, to sell their business. They're getting out of their business. So he's helping them make that transition. And we realized that there were actually three subsets. And so this is something I call little circles in business. So there's big circles, there's little circles in marketing and niching. You can just go on YouTube, Tad Hargrave, big circle, little circles. You'll see some examples of that. And the big circles are generally who do you want to work with, but the little circles are the more specific target markets. And we realized there were three specific target markets. One was people who were just thinking of selling their business. And the second was people who just sold their business. Oh, wait, that's not true. Hold on. Right. People who were thinking of selling their business was number one. Number two, people who were in the process of selling it. It's actively going on, but they need help. And third is people who've already sold their business. So thinking of selling, sold. Those are the three groups. So just naming those is a huge win. I did a video years ago about, because I noticed that sometimes when people had the target markets, it was three different things. You know, for me, I might one way to say it could be holistic practitioners, life coaches, and permaculture people. Three different industries. They're all service providers, a lot in common, but different industries. In this case, another way to do it is it's the same person at different points in their journey, if that makes sense. So this could be the same person. There's somebody who's thinking about selling it, or maybe you catch them later in the process where they're selling it, or maybe you catch them after they've sold it, but it could be the same individual. So that's the first thing. Just coming up with those three and the clarity about that, that's a huge coup. That's going to make things much easier. And why? Because each of those individuals needs something unique. Now, if I say exitpreneurs and it includes all three of these, it's a bit harder to come up with the package. Why? Because who are these people? What's the problem they have? At each three of those moments, they might have a unique problem. And so what we realized was the people who were thinking of selling it, the most important thing they needed was to get clear why they were selling it. Because sometimes actually once they listed the reasons why they were selling it, they didn't want to sell it anymore. They realized there were actually other better ways to achieve those goals. So that's the most important thing he was saying for those people. For people who are selling it, we realized one of the things you could offer there would be a series of 10 interviews that he could do with entrepreneurs and say, look, these will only be kind of for my other clients. It's not going to be public on YouTube. But would you be willing to talk very candidly about the process of selling your business? Where did you make mistakes? What do you wish you'd known about the process of selling your business? If you were going to do it differently, how would you do it differently? What would you do that wouldn't be the same as last time? All this. And I said, if I were in the process of selling, I'd really want that kind of insight from people who've gone through it, commiseration. I'd want those strategies, and it'd be amazing to have that, just to go for a walk in the morning, listen to an interview with somebody, especially if they're in a similar enough industry, and what they went through selling their business to give me ideas. Because I'd probably be so swamped and overwhelmed, and I don't need just generic business coaching at that point. I need stuff specific for this. So we thought that could be something that would go with that. And of course, what they're going to want is, templates and checklists, that kind of thing that could help them sell their business in a way where they're not going to lose their shirt. Now, if they've already sold it, it's a completely different thing, isn't it? They don't need the checklist anymore. It's done. They're not going to need to know why are you selling it. It's too late to go back and change anything in alignment with those reasons. But one of the things he found is people who'd sold their businesses were very lonely, suddenly lacking purpose. They were building a business, traveling around the world. They sold it. They made a fortune on it. And now what? They're out of the game. Their friends don't call them anymore for the parties. They're not in the entrepreneurial rat race anymore. And it's freeing and fun for a while, and then they're just so bored. And there's a loss of identity that comes with this, and a real loss of community. So we thought, what if you could create an online membership for those people? And maybe it would actually be great for all those people, but particularly these people who have sold it, a community where they could be figuring out what's next for them. You know, what's their grand next adventure. So the thing I want to pause on to point out is for each 3 of these, like when you go to a website, you know, about Exitpreneurs, it could be, hey, are you in this situation, this situation, this situation? 3 different buttons. When they click on it, it takes them to a landing page that's exactly tailored for them and where they're at. So that's number 1, if you want to do it. But also, if you want to craft offers, you might have 3 different offers that are very targeted to each of them. Or you might have an online membership that's just for Exitpreneurs, and within that group there are different subgroups. But you might actually have 3 different sales letters for that group. One of them focuses on the ones who are thinking about selling, one of them focusing on the people in the process, one of them focusing on the people who've sold it. But it might all be for the exact same membership, the exact same program. So that's a possibility. Just looking over my notes here that I made. And for each one, there could be a different, what I call pink spoon, or free sample, a free offer as a lead-in. And it's going to be different for each of them. For the person thinking about selling, I could see hey, you're going to get a list, a PDF with a list of all the reasons you might want to sell your business. Yeah. And just circle the ones that are most true. And then there's going to be some other questions on the back that it's going to ask you to prompt further reasons. Oh, you know, and then once you know what those reasons are, you can really make sure that your whatever strategy you come up with hits the target on achieving those outcomes, achieving those goals. If it was the person who was in the process of selling, again, it might be, hey, get these 10 interviews for free and get some checklists of things. You know, because they're probably still going to need help translating it, but you could give some of that for free. And then if it was the people who have already sold their thing, I don't know, I can see another series of interviews. Hey, how did you find purpose after selling your business? It could be, you know, the top 10 things people do after they sell their major business. You see what I'm saying? Different pink spoons, different samples, and all of those could then even lead into the same membership if that's what he wanted to do. And what's interesting is he found that 3rd group fairly depressing. The one who sold their business, they were so lost. He just was like, God, I don't like working with them. It's depressing as hell. So he may want to come up with a DIY course that could help them actually get over the hump to find something inspiring. It's like, hey, you've sold your business. Here's a DIY course full of ideas and exercises to get your juices going again, to find a new direction for you. And he doesn't work with them at all. Or it's a group program. It's not one-on-one. Or he could find somebody else, like my colleague Alex Baisley with BigDreamProgram.com, and could partner with him. Say, boy, these people, I don't want to work with them. Can I just send them to you? And he just focuses on the first 2. There are all sorts of ways you could do it. But what's great about this is, as the niche is so clear, Exitpreneurs, 3 subgroups, the ideas start coming. And when the ideas start coming like this, when it starts flowing, that's a good sign that you're onto something, that it's clear, that it's working. So that's the example I wanted to share from that puttering session. And hey, if you book a puttering session, maybe yours will turn into one of these examples that'll be very useful for other people, I hope. So marketingforhippies.com/puttering for that. If you'd like some hand-holding to join my membership, marketingforhippies.com/membership, and just marketingforhippies.com in general, where there's a ton of free stuff. You can check it out. It's really well organized at this point. And of course on YouTube there's tons of free stuff. And if you want to get it as it comes out, hit the red subscribe button, then the bell icon, and you'll be told when the new stuff is there. Instagram, I'm on @marketingforhippies. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. If you like these videos, please do share them. It makes a huge difference for me. Thank you.